Is it super loud?
Not really.
Is
No.
it not loud?
You've got crappy.
What's wrong with
You've
you?
got tinny little iBook speakers.
How's this? Better?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is our theme music this week.
Yeah, because I've been
Well,
busy.
until Alonso gets theme music together.
I'm gonna get theme music, but I have been
I
doing
might just
things.
keep doing my own, even if you do get theme music
great,
together.
great.
For our podcast about movies called Linoleum Knife, which is what you're
Which is what you're listening to.
listening to right now.
Welcome.
That was Lip Cream.
I'm sure it was.
No, that was the name of the band.
Okay.
Lip Cream. They were this great Japanese punk rock band from the 80s. They were awesome.
That's great.
And now they're our theme music.
Yeah.
They're going to stay our theme music until you get yourself together.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
really happy that you fixed the stereo situation, but
Yes.
now I need you to fix the theme music situation.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the guy who's talking bollocks is Dave White, and he is the film critic for Movies.com.
And you're the movie line DVD editor guy, and you're on. Your name is Alonso Duralde.
Say my name, bitch.
Also, and don't say swears. We have to keep this friendly for iTunes.
That doesn't count as a swear.
What if kids? That is a swear.
It's a female dog. So
Everything
there.
is a swear. That if it makes your movie
PG.
a PG, then it's a swear. I just told my
Fine.
sister-in-law this past week. She called me on the phone and said, "What's a PG movie? What does it mean when a kid's movie is PG? Like, why the heck is Yogi Bear and Alvin and the Chipmunks and whatever else Tangled? Why are they PG movies?"
Right.
And I said, "Well, it's very specific. Like, if you say, 'Oh my gosh,' then that's a G. If you say, 'Oh my God,' then that's a PG. And if you say, 'What the heck,' that's a G. You say, 'What the hell?' That's a PG.
I see.
Did I say that wrong? Anyway.
Yeah. Whatever. No, you got it.
So you can't say swears because we want this to be a show for everyone, including little children.
Yes.
Who want to know about the mechanic
And the right.
and the Rite and the Oscars
and the Sundance.
the Sundance Film Festival. So any child that wants to listen to this and learn about these things needs to be able to do so
in a safe space.
safe language space. And I know that you can't stop swearing
Oh,
and
Kettle.
that your mouth is dirty inside all the time.
Oh, Kettle, thou art black.
No. So the
By the way, I did want to point out.
is that what else your job was? You're now on What the Flick,
I am on What the Flick on.
which you should explain because I can't get past the name.
It's a show it's on the Young Turks network on YouTube, and it's a weekly review show, and sometimes I'm on it, and Ben Mankiewicz seems to always be on it, the gentleman from TCM, and Christy Lemire is sometimes on it, and other people
She's
are
a
sometimes on it.
gentlewoman.
Yes, she is. And she's the new co-host of Roger Ebert Presents at the Movies.
I watched that. Do you know he's not on it? Roger Ebert is not on the show.
Because he can't talk.
It says Roger Ebert Presents, though. Why don't we ever get to see him?
Well, it's like how Oprah's not in Precious. Oprah Winfrey Presents.
Yes, she was. She wasn't?
I know, you thought it was her,
What
but
was
it
it?
turns
What
out
was
it was Monique.
I thought that was Oprah.
No, shockingly.
Where's, why?
but-
How come he can't be on his own show, though? It's his show.
Well, I think in this week's episode, which I haven't watched yet,
I like him, and
do you want me to answer this question?
I would prefer to
Talky
than
pants?
listen to you.
I believe in this week's show, which I haven't watched yet, he writes a review of a movie, and Bill Curtis of CBS News reads it.
Now, that would be awesome if he would write the reviews and get special guest talkers
Yeah, I think
to
that's-
come in every week.
yeah.
And
I
act
picked
them out
Tilda
dramatically.
Swinton.
Yeah. Or doesn't he have a thing, though, where I thought he had... No, wait, I did see him on Oprah, and he had a box...
Like the Stephen Hawking
not
box?
unlike my mom's Dynavox,
Uh-huh.
that speaks for him and actually speaks in his own voice.
Right.
Like they have
They're working on-
digitally,
they're-
they're working on that?
Yeah,
I thought
it's-
maybe they were just talking that it was coming.
Well, yeah, because
I
it's
don't
like
remember
you remember
what exactly
in the Stepford Wives when they have to she has to read that long list of words into the tape recorder so they can make her robot.
yeah.
I love the idea that there's so much Ebert on
There's so many Ebert
videotape.
words.
Yeah, that they
World.
could actually cobble together an
have.
entire vocabulary for him. That
Probably
would be
not
so
the sex
awesome.
words, though.
Well, I don't know.
He wants to talk all lovey to his wife.
He did do
That's probably not.
a commentary for Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Yeah. Oh well, then,
So
yeah,
maybe
then
he
all
did.
those words
Maybe
are
there
in
is sexy talk. Before we get rolling, I just want to point out that there are dust bunnies in the Linoleum podcast at Gmail mailbox.
What are you talking about?
We get nothing, no mail.
No one likes us.
No one is contacting us. No one is listening to this. I know. We're just throwing it out into the void. So prove us wrong. If you are actually listening to this thing, drop us a note.
Nobody has questions because we're so authoritative.
Well, yes, but maybe they need our expert opinion on something, or
they don't.
Or they want to tell us,
especially yours. My opinions are perfect.
They want to tell us to shut up, little man, or something. But anyway, if you feel like it, drop us an email at linoleumpodcast.
I dare anyone to defy my opinions via email.
linoleumpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. And please, defy Dave White's opinions via email. That would be awesome.
Ain't going to happen.
Step up, people. Okay, so let's...
talk about the Sundance Film Festival.
Oh, can we do that last?
Well, no.
Okay,
It's recent.
Okay.
People are going to be bored with it by the time we're done with it.
You're right. Okay, fine. How
great was it?
Well, here's the thing. It was the first time I didn't get sick at Sundance, and that was exciting.
How many times have you been?
I've been 1, 2, 3, 5 or 6 times.
Guess how many times I've been, audience?
How many times have you been, Dave White?
0 amounts of time.
Yes, well.
It's been great.
Yeah, you don't like to fly. You don't like...
I don't want to fly.
You'd like the cold part.
I don't want to be in a crowd. I would love to go where snow is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not to like ski.
I don't like flying. It scares me to death. I don't want to be in a crowd of people. I especially don't want to be in a crowd of people
who were at the Sundance Film Festival.
At the gift bag room who are turning away B-list celebrities because they don't know who they are.
Yeah, it's Sundance itself is it's what you make of it. There's a lot of really great films and there's a lot of opportunities to see interesting stuff. Unfortunately, there's also like
you made mopey emails.
Well, okay, there's also every person in LA who we generally avoid in LA, and that's why we like living here. And then you can't avoid them at Sundance because you're in a very small place.
I don't actually actively avoid anyone.
Oh, you do,
but I'm not.
I'm
not like on anyone's radar.
But, right.
So those people don't like. There's no reason I would even be in the room.
Yeah, you don't want to be around like agency people and like
I don't have any like. But the thing is that it's not that I'm actively avoiding them. It's that my life exists on this whole...
Yeah, our paths don't cross.
This whole other
that's what I mean to say. Our paths don't cross, but in Sundance they cross. And so there's all these great filmmakers and actors and other critics and stuff, and that's all great. But then you've got all the people who are up there for reasons that have nothing to do with, cinema. They are there because it's the happening thing, and they need to be at the happening place and get free crap, and it's just...
Jeans.
Yeah.
You didn't even get your jeans.
No, I didn't, but I'm fine with that.
You were promised free jeans.
Well, maybe they'll mail me some. Because the only reason I would have gotten... See, I'm not a celebrity, so I don't get swag, but I was there for MovieLine.com, and we were set up in the Levi's/Dockers house. And so, yes, at one point I was promised pants, which I didn't get, but maybe later, who knows. But... So being in the Levi's/Dockers house meant I was there exposed to all the naked celebrity greed, which was kind of gross. But on the other hand, I did get to do some really cool interviews, which are available at MovieLine.com.
MovieLine, yeah, and you wrote for Movies.com, too.
And I also wrote a daily diary for Movies.com, which you can go find. And I had some fun moments. I got to geek out.
I like the one that went, "Dear Diary." Today I'm feeling all cryy. I want to go home.
Shush. I didn't write that. Only to you. I did get to geek out about Josie and the Pussycats with Rachel Lee Cook, which was great, especially since I missed...
Based on your recounting of that story to me, she sounds like a dude.
Yeah, she was very cool.
I don't mean that in
a bad way.
I mean that in a...
She was awesome.
Dude.
Yeah, she was very cool. I liked her a lot. And I got to meet my Twitter pal, Eliza Dushku.
I'm still kind of mind blown that she Twitter friended you first.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
I don't either.
And that she was excited to see you. I mean, you're lovely and all, but
it was a very bizarre.
She's Faith,
yeah,
and you're some guy.
I know she's true and all that.
I don't
stuff.
understand.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Apparently, she must have seen some tweets of mine that she thought were funny. She started following me.
You're funny. True. I mean, there's a reason. I do understand that people would want to follow you and read.
Incidentally,
you say,
and if you want to follow me on Twitter,
tee funny.
I'm at Aduralde, ADURALDE. Please follow me. And so she started retweeting my stuff, and like she would message me, and so now like I met her at Sundance.
Now you're pals.
Yeah, we're best friends forever. No, she was very lovely, and she introduced me to her boyfriend, and it was very cool.
Say who her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend is a former NBA star and Dancing with the Stars contestant, Rick Fox, who was also in Meet the Browns. That's the first thing I thought when I saw it. I was like, oh, you were in Meet the Browns. The one Tyler Perry movie I liked.
Not that he was a pro basketball. I know you from Meet the Browns.
How the hell would I know him from basketball, please?
Just because it's in the air. Because his name would be in the air. Look, I don't like sports either, but I know his name.
Look, I know he played basketball, but it's not like I ever saw him play basketball. So when I see his face, the first thing I'm going to think of is the movie I saw him in. That's my context. Meet the Browns. But I saw some good movies. I saw Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene, which stars Elizabeth Olsen, who is the younger sister of
Monkey Boosie,
the Olsen
Mopey,
twins.
Mormon.
I know. They've really got to change that title. Because
No, that's a great title.
No one can remember it.
But that's going to be great. That's going to make it better.
That's really going to help them sell tickets.
It's going to help them sell tickets. People are going to come to the box office and be like,
Mini
Moskowitz.
It's the one movie your mom could order a ticket for. I want one for Mama.
Hey.
No, come on.
It is, yeah.
That's,
That's how my mom talks.
Yes.
For new listeners, my mom had a stroke 6 years ago, and it's a source of endless hilarity.
I'm not mocking her. I would tell her that joke. She would think it was funny.
No, she does think that's funny. She actually does laugh when people do that back. When people mama bump back to her, she laughs.
There you go.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, so Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene, terrific film, and Elizabeth Olsen is like, next big thing. So keep an eye out for her.
I like that, like her older sisters have been working since they were fetuses. And she just comes along, la la la. I don't have to do anything until I'm of age, and I feel like I get to have my whole childhood while my sisters are out like being child slaves or whatever. and then I want to see the family conversation with them, looking at her like, hey,
I'm sure they're very supportive.
We were busting our humps. What have you? And you just sat around and watched SpongeBob.
Well, actually,
while we were out there working for a living.
I think
now you come along and glide right into the party.
I think Elizabeth had some bit parts in How the West Was Fun and some other Olsen opuses. So she pulled her weight. Anyway, so that was really good. I saw Win Win, which is the new film from Tom McCarthy, who did The Station Agent, which I liked, and The Visitor, which I did not like.
I'm bored listening to your stories about Sundance.
You asked.
You've gone over time.
I didn't know I had.
Now we have to talk about the current.
Oh my god! All right, go to movieline.com and movies.com and read my Sundance stuff. Since Dave's getting bored,
I'm bored now.
We have to move on. All right, what are we talking about?
The Rite.
Yes. Yeah,
say things about The Rite.
It's a PG-13 exorcism movie. So
it's good.
So not only is it not violent enough, it doesn't have the really good bad swears in it, which any exorcism movie really needs.
You need bad swears in an exorcism movie. You need
the devil does not work PG-13. He works blue.
Satanic things.
He does the 10 p.m. Buddy Hackett show,
and you need that to be a rated R movie.
Yeah.
As I said to you while we were watching the film, the contents of my iPod are more satanic than this movie.
Indeed. But it stars Anthony Hopkins as a veteran exorcist who is trying to train.
He's got unorthodox methods.
Yes, he does.
Throws frogs at people.
Go figure.
Throws a frog at you and goes, Diablo! Seriously, he does. That's actually really great. That's the best part of the movie.
And so he's training this...
plus the devil donkey.
The devil mule is pretty amazing.
I thought of it as sort of like an anti-Bressonian, thing.
Hazard Balthazar versus Devil Donkey.
Versus Devil Donkey, yeah.
And so, so Hopkins trains this hot young American priest who's played by an Irish actor whose name I don't remember.
Oh, he's Irish?
Yeah.
Like from Ireland?
From Ireland, Irish, yeah.
So he was doing an American accent.
Yeah, and really good, because I didn't know.
He kind of sounded like Ewan McGregor doing an American accent.
Better than
sort of that generic, you don't know where I'm from kind of thing.
Yeah. Anyway, so... And it's got Maria Braga. Is that her name?
I don't know. It sucks. The whole thing sucks.
It's pretty bad. And here's the thing. Maria Braga has become one of those actresses through no fault of her own that when I see her name in the opening credits, I'm like, oh boy, we're in for a stinker. Well, and it's not that she's a bad actress.
Newish, so that's what she's getting.
So far, she just has this bad luck charm on her.
Unless you're an Olsen sibling.
Exactly.
When you're a new actor, you go straight
you go to where the work is.
You go straight to the the fart machine movies.
And I'm sure she did. These are all movies that look good on paper. Like she was in that movie Blindness.
Which one was that?
Remember with Mark Ruffalo and Julianne Moore, which was tedious, but it was based on like this international like important bestseller, and it was the opening night film of the Cannes Film Festival, but it was awful. And then she was in that Repo Man movie, which was lame, and now she's in this. So it's like poor gal cannot get a break.
Hey, she gets breaks. She's working.
Well, she's working. That's true. I don't know if she's is she related to Sonia Braga? Do we know?
I don't know.
Oh, just wondering. So anyway, the Rite, the only reason to watch it when it eventually comes on Cinemax is for the Hamon lead performance of Anthony Hopkins, which is like I turned.
It's like watching have you seen like old movies, like when
Joan Crawford.
When Joan Crawford got old and was making nothing but like these
William Castle movies,
stiff-necked, like square kind of horror movies,
Berserk and Homicide. No,
she just sort of like.
Straight Jacket.
She just sort of like stiffly walks around through all these films.
The phone
Someone's calling.
Rings. You've got the phone now.
Oh, hang on. It's from.
Call from Kentucky Cole.
We have a creepy talking phone.
Yeah, it's great.
And it reads out loud the caller ID in a robot voice.
I fixed it.
Thank you. Yeah, and my joke. I turned to Dave during the movie and I said, Anthony Hopkins isn't just chewing the scenery; he is putting it in a wood chipper and having sex with it and setting it on fire.
You said he F's it.
Yeah, but we're trying to keep this show clean.
Yeah,
so I didn't say it this time.
Yeah,
but you know what we're talking about. So it's ridiculous.
It's not. Don't spend money. Watching it, but like when it comes on cable, if you have a DVR, just. Like, go to the Anthony Hopkins parts.
Yeah.
Because everything else is like blah, blah,
like
blah.
You could create...
The young priest, I have no faith, and I have to,
And my mommy is dead.
And my mommy's dead, and I don't believe in God, and I'm agnostic, and I think that the exorcists, the people who are possessed by devils just need to go to psychiatrists. All of which is true.
Yeah. The movie does wind up being this big infomercial for Catholicism.
You would think the Catholic Church is actually
paying for this movie.
I really want to follow the money on movies like this when I see them, because I look at it and I think, well, the Catholic Church paid for this movie.
Yeah.
Because first of all, the only people who get to exorcise demons in movies are Catholics.
Right.
You never see like a Methodist or a Unitarian
going after the
devil.
If you don't believe in God and the devil, then the devil is winning because he's convinced you he doesn't exist.
Right, exactly. It's like the devil has. If you don't believe in the devil, then the devil has clearly already warped your mind.
Yeah, which is a great con game. If you
So it's this whole thing where like in my mind, what I would love for this to be about, really, I would love it if the Catholic Church were the ones funding these films, because then it would be like this perfect example of, we have this horrible thing going on in the Catholic Church, and little children are being raped constantly, and look over there,
devil,
it's the devil,
devil,
it's gonna get you, like that's
what we've got Nazi gold, the devil,
right. So, I mean, who knows? That might not be true, but it would be great if it were true.
It scans somehow.
It would be the best story if that were actually true. But I find it weird that in the devil movies, it's only the Catholics who are equipped.
Because nobody else has incense. Nobody else steps up with all the cool toys.
Right.
The apparatuses.
One of my favorite moments in the film is the chick who's got the most devil in her. Is because there's several people in the movie.
The pregnant lady. Pregnant girl.
Several people in the movie have
some
varying amounts of devil inside them. And I like the chick with the most of the devil in her. Her room in wherever it is she is.
The hospital?
Faces the Vatican. And so, like, she sees the Vatican and freaks out. And so Anthony Hopkins is like, no, let her look at it. Like the dome of the top of the building
the basilica will cure her.
It's going to fix her. Yeah. It's really rotten.
And I briefly want to mention Toby Jones, who shows up early on as the headmaster of the seminary.
That's another good part.
Okay, now he's really good at playing like Truman Capote and Swifty Lazar and sort of famous gnomish men. But to have him play a regular character in the regular world, you just look at him and you go, wow, you're gnomish, aren't you?
Well, yeah. My favorite thing is that when he says to the young priest who is troubled, he says, "I'm going to send you to Rome to to an exorcism
Seminar.
to an exorcism seminar, like a workshop, and
A retreat.
and because the Catholic Church is gearing up to install an exorcist in every parish.
Yeah.
Worldwide, like across the globe,
Because the numbers are spiking on the whole demonic possession thing.
More and more people are being invaded by the devil, and the Catholic Church's duty to the world is to install
More
one
exorcists.
exorcist per church in every one of the churches in the globe around the world, and so they're holding like Burger King training camps,
Hamburger University.
for exorcists.
Oh, and of course, let's not forget, this is based on a true story.
Yes, inspired by true events.
And at the end, they actually, there's like these credits come up that try and tell you that the priests who are portrayed in the film are
Right,
real
they're
people.
really doing
and they're
things.
really out there
Yeah.
battling, Beelzebub or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Rite. That's that.
Cable.
Yes. Moving on. Also opening this week is The Mechanic, starring
Which is pretty badass.
Jason Statham and
he's
Ben
an
Foster,
ass.
and it's okay.
swears.
And it's a remake of the 1972
72
action film with Charles Bronson and Jan Michael Vincent.
Action film is a little. I would not know. I don't know that I would call the original an action film.
Well,
There are guns and people do get shot.
A boat
and there's
blows up.
a couple explosions. A boat blows up. Yeah.
it's okay. Well, it's an early '70s movie, so it's sort
Has
of a
more to
character
do-
study,
It's more like the
kind
American
of.
than anything you would see.
True, yeah, I suppose. Well, especially because it's 15 minutes in this movie before anybody actually talks.
Right.
It's like a lot of silent sort of murder planning, and you get some radio voiceover, but that's about it. The original, rather, not
Yeah.
the new one. The new one,
The original
right
is Charles
to it.
Bronson and Jan Michael Vincent.
Yeah.
The new one has Jason
Statham.
Are you sure that's how you say his last name?
How else would you say it? Statham?
I don't know because no one has. I hear people pronounce his name differently all the time.
How else do they pronounce
Statham, Statham.
Really?
Yeah, I hear all the different.
I've
kinds.
always heard Statham. So,
Well, that's what in my head I'm thinking Statham.
if any of our listeners
Generally,
know
I'm
the
right about
correct
everything,
pronunciation,
so-
they can certainly write us at linoleumpodcast@gmail.com and
Yeah.
let us know. Anywho,
This new version is totally like amped up with more shootings, more explosionings. There's a bus explosion in it.
oh yeah, right. There's a car that drives through a bus
Yes.
and then explodes.
Yeah. And then
and it's better written, I want to say, than the original.
well, it's more
in a lot of
fleshed out,
ways.
and you get more psychological reasons for why people are doing the things
Exactly.
they're
Yeah. I mean, the basic
doing.
premise,
Original one, people are like, "I'm just bad."
Yeah, I'm along for the ride.
Yeah.
It's like okay. The premise is that Statham is a killer for hire, and he gets instructions from the people who give him these instructions that he has to kill his mentor, Donald Sutherland, who sort of taught him everything he knows. And so he does, and then at Sutherland's funeral, he sees Sutherland's son, played by Ben Foster. Ben Foster resents the fact that Donald Sutherland chose Jason Statham to be his protege, and so now he wants Jason Statham to teach him everything a young hitman should know.
Yes, so he does.
And he does. And then
Jason Statham's first mistake.
yes. And so then, of course, things start getting sloppy, and then Ben Foster figures out
He's a psychopath, like he is in every movie.
exactly, he's twitchy, and then he also figures out that Jason Statham killed his dad, and so da-da-da-da-da.
Stuff goes down.
Stuff goes down. I did like the ending of the original better, but I won't get into spoilery.
I like
stuff,
the ending of the
so-
original better too, but we can't say what that is.
No, but the new one is entertaining, and the action stuff is good.
I had a really great time watching this movie because there is tons of super violence in it.
Yeah, but I don't
People
know.
don't just get shot; they get smashed up by each other, like hand to hand, like bludgeoning, stabbing with a fireplace thing, and smashed up against the walls and flipped upside down. And there's like great monster fighting.
And,
in this movie.
it's cool because like the whole premise that Statham says he likes to do is he's the killer that leaves no trails so that people don't even know that a murder happened. Like he tries to make it look like an accident or like a heart
Right.
attack or whatever.
Yeah.
But then as soon as Ben Foster gets involved, like all glass walls
Everything
are shattering.
everything
and
becomes real murdery,
Yeah.
and everybody knows it.
Exactly.
Look at all these people. Who did all this murdering?
It's a mess.
Must have been that kid. Yeah. I don't know that it's a good movie, but it's
No,
really
no.
effective and
It's directed
and
by
it's
Simon West.
totally
who's, like,
what you want it
Con
to be,
Air or whatever.
You want it to be exactly what it is, and Jason Statham is great at all that thing. Like he's the same guy in
every movie.
Like, he never smiles,
No.
and
He's always like very good at his job and humorless and like deadly.
yeah,
And looks real good with his shirt off.
not the point. The point is he is killing a lot of people.
That's part of his star quality. We got to throw that
there
in.
There is he does do that in every film.
Yes.
He does get at least half naked.
Like, I mean, Bronson does
every
not
film.
take his
Charles
shirt
Bronson
off.
does not.
No, but
You're
like,
happy that Charles Bronson
but
does
the
not.
the camera totally like objectifies Jason Statham.
Well,
Jason
he used
Statham
to
in
be a
every
model.
movie. Oh, I'm not
Back in the
surprised.
day, he
I'm
was
not
a model.
surprised. So yeah, so that's part of his thing is that I think which. There could be the argument that, hey, it's something for the ladies, for this sort of like macho kind of movie.
Well, I was just saying, I was on the radio earlier this week, and the guy, the radio host that I was talking to said, well, this doesn't sound like a movie for the ladies. And now we get back to my mother, who is 68. And when I told her that I was going to go see this movie earlier this week and review it, on the phone, she very excitedly expressed interest in seeing it herself. And I won't imitate her, but because we've
covered that.
I've done that a lot.
We've covered that on the show.
But she loves that stuff. She loves men with guns killing other men with guns. And she's 68, lives in a nursing home, can't get enough brutality. And
then this will be right up her alley.
And so I believe that there's a whole subclass of ladies out there that really like this stuff, and they're not being paid attention to. Like they happily go with their men or with other ladies to see these movies.
And I think that's the key role that Jason Statham plays in all this.
I don't think it has anything to do with him taking off his shirt, though. I think they just like to see people get killed.
Well, fine, but I'm just saying that's just
Like
an extra.
me.
That's an extra draw for the ladies.
So sure,
and
yes.
and the gay men.
Yes.
All right, that's all I'm saying.
All right. I saw From Prada to Nada.
You sure did.
You didn't, but I saw From Prada to Nada.
I wrote about it though on Salon.com.
Gray Drake. That's her name. Grae. Gray Drake.
Dave's co-critic
She's
at
my
movies.com.
colleague now, my professional colleague
Yes.
in movie criticizing
Also,
at movies.com.
and the host of the Popcorn Mafia.
She's
podcast.
also the host of Popcorn Mafia. She and I went on Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. to see From Prada to Nada at the Grove because they didn't show it to critics. And it's based on Sense and Sensibility.
Sort of.
And to the guy who complained in my review on movies.com, I'm going to have that bit fixed where I said Mr. Darcy because that's from Pride and Prejudice.
Oops.
I made a mistake. I you know what?
Nobody remembers the name of the guy in
Jane
Sense and
Austen.
Sensibility.
Yeah, nobody. First of all, no one remembers the name of the guy in Sense and Sensibility. And secondly, all that Jane Austen stuff is the same thing.
She was the Jason
She was the
Statham
Jason
of
Statham
Victorian
of
novels.
Victorian novels, yes. And so, my favorite part of From Prada to Nada is the very beginning, where you see Alexa Vega from Spy Kids shopping, and they're playing the song "California Girls." And Gray and I were sort of bouncy, half dancing in our seats together.
Just curious, who else was in the theater?
Two middle-aged Hispanic ladies alone, but they were not together.
Oh, separate.
They were alone, and then some guy way down in the front. So there were three other people in the theater, and so we went. And it's not a terrible movie. I mean, it's not a good movie, but it's not a terrible movie either. It's about these girls, and they have a rich dad in Beverly Hills, but they also have like an auntie, a tia in East LA who lives in this bright blue, gorgeous house that the girls keep complaining about being like a slum. And I'm like, dude, I rent. And you know what? I don't care where that house is. That's a nice big house. I'll go live in that nice big house. Go sleep on the sidewalk if you don't want to be in that nice big house. And they go live in the house. And they're all upset, because they're in the, the barrio and stuff. And there are these awesome Mi Vida Loca Chola girls standing outside the sidewalk all the time, threatening to punch them in the face. Just awesome. That's amazing. And because wouldn't you want to live next to some cool cholas? They would be protecting you at all times.
Yeah, if we got along, sure.
You would immediately get along with them.
I'd bring some 40s out and say, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. Welcome.
Free beers, and you would maybe bake a pie every once in a while and go, hey, cholas, would you like some pie?
Everybody likes pie.
Everyone likes pie. So you would totally win them over fast. And then they would beat up your enemies if they were just standing outside on the sidewalk all the time. which the Cholas in this movie
Assuming
are.
your enemies came over to your house and were loitering out front. Yes, that theory holds water.
That happens sometimes. Anyway, this movie's real dumb, but it's that kind of dumb where you're kind of just feeling very forgiving about it. It's good-hearted and it's sweet and it's like I was worried. Like I went walking in thinking, oh god, this is going to be like Material Girls, the Hillary and Haley Duff movie that came out a few years ago, which is essentially it has the same plot. Yeah.
Or Overboard or any other movie about it.
Yeah, I was really dreading going because not only am I trying not to eat so much sugar now that I've watched on Dr. Oz that it's going to kill you.
You're trying not to watch
even
so much
harder,
saccharin.
even harder than you thought it was going to. Sugar's even more poison for you than you ever imagined, and so that interrupted my Grove experience because I always go to the Grove in the morning and I get a big high C drink that is red and a pretzel. And that's my breakfast when I go to the Grove to see these movies. And so I was like, I can't have sugar because the High C red drink has like a pound of sugar in a cup of it. And so not only was I in a bad mood about what I thought it was going to be, and in a bad mood because I was denying myself my High C red drink. I just lost my train of thought. I was in a bad mood, but the movie is not so crappy that it kept me in a bad mood.
Right.
I was sort of feeling all right about it by the time I left. And the only the only genuinely weird thing about this movie is Alexa Vega and Camilla Bell, who play the girls who have to go live with their aunt in East L.A., they seem to have been bronzered quite a bit. And I mean, Camilla Bell is half Brazilian,
Right.
And Alexa Vega is a Mexican American. I'm assuming, yeah, 'cause she was a Spy Kids, Robert Rodriguez movies. But they both seem to have been turned a little browner for this movie, and I don't quite get what that's about. Like, and it might just be a lighting production quality situation because it's a low budget movie and whatever.
From Prada to John Boehner.
Yeah, it's that is strange, and you get over it because again they're both sweet and pretty and whatever. And it's not a terrible movie. I mean, I came home thinking, well, that was not as sucky as I was worried it would be.
Do you know what my new must thing for the Grove is?
No.
A surgical mask lined with Vicks Vapor Rub, so as not to
Theater
smell.
7 smells like poop.
Theater 7 smells like sewage, and
So
they
if you
know
go to
it.
the Grove and they tell you your movie's in Theater 7, you walk into that theater, and if it smells like poop,
Walk
right back out and go, look,
because it
free passes.
Yeah,
or I report to the
Health
ABC
department.
News that you have a poop smell in there.
because and it kind of comes and goes. Like you go, is it like a diaper that needs changing
Sewage.
here,
It's
and
a
then it
sewage
goes away,
situation.
and then it
Yeah.
comes back. It's so gross. All right, so we're already running a little long, so let's talk about the Oscars real quick and wrap up.
Oscars are dumb. Goodbye.
Yes. Yes, they are dumb, basically. They're always dumb. They will continue to be dumb, and they really aren't about anything. But yet, we all get very excited about them for some reason, and everybody
You
talks
do,
about them.
not
No,
me.
I don't. Not anymore.
Yeah, you do.
Not anymore.
When people try to engage you about the Oscars, you're gung-ho to talk about it and share your opinion.
It's a professional thing. I have to talk about it, but I don't care. I have no investment in it.
You love them.
I don't.
You're super in love with them.
I used to. Let me tell you.
You want to marry them.
I feel jilted by the Oscars because when I was a little kid and I was obsessed with movies, it was this big splashy thing that came on TV every year, and I got all super obsessed with it. And then you get old enough where you start seeing all the movies that got nominated and like the movies that didn't get nominated, and you realize, wow, this is a crock.
All the great movies didn't get nominated, and Life is Beautiful won.
Exactly.
Oh, wait, did it win Best Picture?
No, but it won
Okay.
Best Actor, though, which is insane. Matt Seitz actually has a really cool list of at Salon about, like, shocking, like, or not ridiculous sort of Oscar wins. Although,
Crash.
Crash, that was one of them. Although, it's funny, because every time I write a list piece, some guy was like, you left out,
You left out what?
Whatever,
Whatever the movie they hated is.
whatever the thing is that you didn't include that they feel very
Right.
strongly about.
Right.
So of course I got to go to Matt and say, "Ha, it's my turn. You left out," and
Right.
he neglected to mention the fact that the best original screenplay for Dead Poets Society. Do you want to know what it beat out?
I'm sure it's something amazing.
Get this: Crimes and Misdemeanors. When Harry Met Sally,
Which is better than Dead Poets Society.
Do the Right Thing,
Which is better than Dead Poets Society.
and Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
Which is better than Dead Poets Society.
Yeah. And then the next year, Ghost beat like Metropolitan. It's crazy.
Ghost is also better than Dead Poets Society.
I suppose that's kind of splitting hairs, though. Anyway, so this year's Oscars, really, I just want to see if I Am Love wins Best Costume. That would be nice. It's the only nomination that my favorite movie of last year got.
How come the Tron suits were not nominated for Best Costume?
Beats me. Tron wasn't nominated for Best Visual Effects.
Those things lit up.
It was not nominated for visual effects. It was nominated for like sound effects editing or something.
Alexander McQueen was a genius for making dresses that plugged into walls, but the Tron people can't get an Oscar nomination for the best Tron suits.
Yeah. You know, I suppose we should be at least happy they didn't nominate any of the songs from Burlesque. They didn't. Not even the Diane Warren song. I know. Can you even imagine? But of course, they nominated whatever Randy Newman song that sounds like every other Randy Newman song from Toy Story 3. I just want the
Trash Humpers song to get nominated.
Yeah, I know you do. And of course now apparently as of this morning, King's Speech won the DGA award. So now
we should stop because I don't care.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm done.
Fine. Okay. Again, thank you all for listening. Listen to we're here. We load up a new episode every Sunday, and
more or less
check out our friends at the Popcorn Mafia.
Yes.
Blowhard.
Yes.
The Comedy Couch with Dennis and Tony.
Yes.
And I don't know what's happening at the IFC podcast because Allison Wilmore, who I met at Sundance, which was
you're supposed to be saying things about it.
This is not a secret. Everybody knows.
It's not a secret. Everyone
knows.
Right,
she is no longer at IFC. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening with that, but we'll see where it goes. Matt Singer, I assume, is still there, so maybe it'll become a solo act. And
goodbye.
Linoleum Knife at Linoleum Podcast at gmail.com. Drop us a line. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.